I decided to do something that a lot of Linux users talk about but very few actually commit to properly. I tried 10 different Mac-style Linux distros, not just booting them once or judging them by screenshots, but actually living with each one long enough to understand how it feels, how it performs, and whether it truly delivers that macOS-like experience people promise. The goal was simple but strict, which Linux distros genuinely feel like a Mac replacement, not just in looks but also in workflow, polish, stability, and day-to-day usability. What I found surprised me in many ways because some popular names didn't live up to the hype, while a few lesser-known distros absolutely nailed the experience. This isn't about blind fanboyism or flashy docs. This is about the real best Mac-style Linux distros after actually using 10 of them. The first distro I tried was Elementary OS because Elementary OS is almost always the first name that comes up when people talk about macOS, like Linux. Elementary OS is based on Ubuntu, and from the moment it boots, it's clear that Elementary OS is heavily inspired by macOS. The Pantheon desktop in Elementary OS feels clean, minimal, and intentionally designed. The dock at the bottom, the top panel, the animations, and even the system sounds all feel very Apple-like. Using Elementary OS feels calm and distraction-free, which is something macOS users often appreciate. However, after daily use, some cracks start to show. Elementary OS is extremely opinionated. Customization is limited by design, which may appeal to some but frustrate others. Simple things like changing system themes or adjusting window behavior often require extra tweaks or third-party tools. App availability is another mixed experience. Elementary OS pushes App Center and paid apps, which is interesting philosophically, but many traditional Linux users might feel restricted. Performance-wise, Elementary OS is smooth on modern hardware, but on slightly older machines, it can feel heavier than expected. Elementary OS definitely looks like macOS, but it sometimes sacrifices flexibility for aesthetics. It's a strong visual match, but not necessarily the most powerful daily driver for everyone. Next, I moved on to Zorin OS, specifically Zorin OS Pro and Zorin OS Core. Zorin OS is based on Ubuntu as well, but it takes a different approach compared to Elementary OS. Zorin OS doesn't lock you into one design philosophy. Instead, Zorin OS gives you layout presets, including a very convincing Mac OS-style layout. With a single click, Zorin OS can transform into something that looks incredibly close to Mac OS, complete with a dock, global menu-style layout, and familiar window behavior. Using Zorin OS feels more flexible and forgiving than Elementary OS. You get better hardware compatibility, broader software support, and easier customization. Zorin OS also performs very well, even on older hardware, which makes it appealing for users migrating from aging MacBooks. The downside is that some of the best Mac OS-like features are locked behind the paid Pro version, which may turn some users away. Still, Zorin OS feels polished, reliable, and practical. It may not be as minimalist as Elementary OS, but as a Mac-style Linux distro that balances looks and usability, Zorin OS performs extremely well. Then came Ubuntu Budgie, which surprised me more than I expected. Ubuntu Budgie uses the Budgie desktop, which is clean, modern, and very adaptable to a Mac OS-style workflow. With a bottom dock, top panel, and carefully chosen themes, Ubuntu Budgie can look remarkably like Mac OS while still feeling very Linux underneath. The Budgie desktop is lighter than GNOME and more flexible than Pantheon, which makes Ubuntu Budgie a strong candidate. Daily usage on Ubuntu Budgie felt smooth and responsive. App installation is easy, updates are stable, and hardware support is excellent, thanks to Ubuntu's base. Ubuntu Budgie doesn't force a Mac-like experience on you, but it allows you to build one comfortably. The only real drawback is that Ubuntu Budgie doesn't ship with a perfect Mac OS look out of the box. You have to tweak it a bit, but once you do, Ubuntu Budgie becomes one of the most balanced Mac-style Linux experiences available. After that, I tested Deepin Linux, which is famous for its visuals. Deepin Linux is based on Debian and uses the Deepin Desktop Environment, or DDE. Visually, Deepin Linux is stunning. Animations are smooth, icons are polished, and the dock and control center looks straight out of a premium operating system. Deepin Linux feels like macOS mixed with its own unique design language. Using Deepin Linux is genuinely enjoyable at first. Everything feels fluid and modern. However, longer usage reveals concerns. Deepin Linux has raised privacy and security questions in the past, especially due to its origins. While many of these concerns are debated, they still make some users uncomfortable. Stability can also be hit or missed depending on updates. Some versions of Deepin Linux feel rock solid, while others introduce bugs unexpectedly. Performance is generally good, but Deepin Linux can be heavy on system resources. Deepin Linux looks amazing and feels premium, but trust and long-term stability might be deal breakers for some users. Then I tried Linux Mint with Cinnamon, which might not sound like a Mac-style distro at first, but with the right configuration, Linux Mint can get surprisingly close. Linux Mint Cinnamon is based on Ubuntu and focuses on stability and ease of use. With a macOS-style theme, a dock-like plank, and proper window behavior tweaks, Linux Mint Cinnamon becomes very Mac-like in workflow. What makes Linux Mint stand out is how reliable it is. Linux Mint rarely breaks, updates are predictable, and performance is excellent even on older hardware. Linux Mint doesn't chase flashy animations or modern design trends, but it delivers a rock-solid experience. Compared to Elementary OS or Deepin Linux, Linux Mint feels less artistic but far more dependable. If you want a Mac-style Linux distro that just works every single day, Linux Mint Cinnamon is a serious contender. The sixth distro I tested was Feren OS. Feren OS is based on Ubuntu and is specifically designed to appeal to users coming from Windows or macOS. Out of the box, Feren OS already looks very macOS-like with a bottom dock, global menu, and clean system layout. Feren OS focuses heavily on customization, offering tools that let you change themes, layouts, and behaviors easily. Daily use of Feren OS felt comfortable and intuitive. Performance was good, software availability was strong, and the overall experience felt polished. However, Feren OS doesn't have as large a community as Ubuntu or Linux Mint, which can sometimes make troubleshooting harder. Still, for a Mac-style Linux distro that balances aesthetics and freedom, Feren OS performs better than many people expect. Next on the list was KDE Neon, which is a bit of a wild card. KDE Neon isn't marketed as a Mac-style distro, but KDE Plasma is one of the most customizable desktop environments in Linux. With the right dock, global menu, window buttons on the left, and a Mac OS-inspired theme, KDE Neon can look shockingly close to Mac OS. The real strength of KDE Neon is power. KDE Plasma is fast, flexible, and incredibly configurable. On modern hardware, KDE Neon feels lightning fast. Animations are smooth, multitasking is excellent, and productivity features like virtual desktops rival Mac OS. The downside is that KDE Neon requires effort. Out of the box, it doesn't feel like Mac OS at all. You have to invest time into customization. If you're willing to do that, KDE Neon becomes one of the best Mac-style Linux setups possible. If not, it may feel overwhelming. Then I tried Pear OS, or more accurately, modern Pear OS community remakes. Pear OS was originally famous for being almost a macOS clone. Modern versions aim to recreate that experience. Visually, Pear OS is extremely close to macOS, sometimes almost too close. The dock, menu bar, icons, and window styling are clearly inspired by Apple. Using Pear OS feels familiar if you're coming directly from macOS. However, Pear OS feels less mature compared to larger distros. Updates can be inconsistent, and long-term support is uncertain. Pear OS is impressive as a visual experiment, but as a daily driver, it doesn't feel as reliable as options like Zorin OS or Linux Mint. The ninth distro I tested was Cutefish OS. Cutefish OS is designed from the ground up with a macOS-like interface in mind. The Cutefish desktop environment looks modern, clean, and minimal, with a strong Mac OS influence. Using Cutefish OS feels elegant and smooth. However, Cutefish OS is still very young. Many features are incomplete, bugs are common, and software availability can be limited. Cutefish OS shows incredible potential, but right now it feels more like a preview of a future Mac-style Linux distro rather than a finished product. For experimentation, it's exciting. For serious daily use, it's not quite there yet. Finally, I tested Ubuntu GNOME with heavy Mac OS-style customization. GNOME is actually closer to Mac OS philosophically than many people realize. With a dock, top bar, gestures, and full-screen app launcher, GNOME already shares similarities with Mac OS. When customized properly using extensions like Dash to Dock and global menu tweaks, Ubuntu GNOME becomes a very Mac-like experience. The advantage of Ubuntu GNOME is stability, massive community support, and excellent software compatibility. Performance is solid, and touchpad gestures feel especially Mac-like. The downside is that GNOME updates can break extensions, which can temporarily disrupt the macOS-style setup. Still, Ubuntu GNOME offers one of the most authentic workflow similarities to macOS when configured correctly. After using all 10 Mac-style Linux distros extensively, it became clear that not all Mac-style distros are created equal. Some focus purely on looks, others on stability, and a few manage to balance both. Elementary OS wins in minimalism and design philosophy, but loses points for flexibility. Deepin Linux wins in visual polish, but raises concerns in trust and resource usage. Pear OS wins in imitation, but loses in maturity. Cutefish OS wins in future potential, but loses in current reliability. The real best Mac-style Linux distros, based on actual daily usage, come down to a few standouts. Zorin OS stands out as one of the best overall Mac-style Linux distros because it balances appearance, performance, and usability. Linux Mint Cinnamon stands out for reliability and stability while still offering a Mac-like workflow. Ubuntu Budgie stands out for flexibility and smooth performance. KDE Neon stands out for power users who want a Mac-style setup without sacrificing control. And Ubuntu GNOME stands out for users who value gestures, productivity, and long-term support. In the end, the best Mac-style Linux distro depends on what you value most. If you want something that looks beautiful with minimal effort, Zorin OS and Elementary OS are strong choices. If you want something that will never break and just keeps working, Linux Mint is hard to beat. If you want ultimate control and performance, KDE Neon is unbeatable. And if you want something that feels modern and gesture-driven like macOS, Ubuntu GNOME delivers. Trying 10 Mac-style Linux distros made one thing very clear. Linux doesn't need to copy macOS to be great, but when done right, a Mac-style Linux distro can offer the beauty of macOS with the freedom of Linux. And when you find the right one for your workflow, it doesn't feel like a compromise at all. It feels like an upgrade.